For the past several years, Vengeance Motorcycles has been building some of the hottest extreme custom choppers on the road today, and the 2005 models are looking better than ever.
You know, someone said to me 6-7 years ago that there'd be this giant chopper craze where people were going to be sort of going out of their way to try to buy choppers. There'd be TV shows about choppers, and everyone was saying, chopper, 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 spending $30,000 for choppers. I'd say, you know, I don't see it. I mean, choppers are cool, but they don't work as well as a lot of other types of bikes in terms of the way they're designed. They're not comfortable for long trips. You can't really carry stuff on them. They don't make a lot of sense as transportation. But what I didn't count on was how illogical we Americans are and how passionate we are about things that are as strong of an icon as choppers are. And there's something about driving on these things where you just kind of, well, you get a special feeling when you're on a chopper. You feel cool because the thing you're riding is cool. This Raider works pretty nicely. It's got 40 degrees of brake on the front end with an additional 5 degrees of brake in the triple trees. It's a 12-inch over front end, so it's able to reach to the ground and not have the front end kind of, well, completely out of shape or the front of the engine dragging. You think about how motorcycles work, and you think, this thing would be really a nasty thing to try to turn, right? Because it's got such a long wheelbase. But one of the ways they've made it work better is by putting on a skinny front tire. It helps offset how much grip and how slow the curve is on the fat 250mm rear tire. All these Vengeance Raiders come with Brembo brakes up in front, 4-piston calipers, full floating rotors. So they make that nice little sound when you go to put on the brakes, because the rotors are actually floating on the carriers, and that helps keep the heat that's generated in the rotors getting down into the hub. It sort of keeps that separated. It also helps them cool off a little better in between every time you hit the brakes. It's sort of something that comes from road racing, actually. You really can't have a chopper without cojones. This thing's got a 113 cubic inch S&S motor, sort of like the standard for big American twins these days, based on the Evo platform. And it makes a lot of torque, pulls really hard. It got these things down to a real science, you know. No guesswork involved anymore. See, you can shake it and it goes right back to neutral. Shake it, it goes back to neutral. So the good thing about that is if you're riding along and you hit a bump that wants to upset the front end, as long as that front tire is still spinning, that gyroscopic effect will just let you track back through it. So don't panic and try to oversteer. Relax, give it a little gas, and ride through the bump. Isn't this cool? Look at all this. It's all polished and chromed, very shiny. Just don't walk, be careful when you're in the garage. You come home at night, you walk past your bike, you don't want to take out your spleen with that. That would hurt. Nice thing about these bikes is they've only got a 24.5-inch seat height, which means that even if you've got stubby little legs like me, you can still reach the ground when you come to a stoplight. Oh, cool. Freeway on-ramp. You know, after a day of riding around on the Vengeance Raider, it's uncanny how the thing starts just feeling smaller. You know, I thought it would be a big intimidating chopper, but it just gets easier to ride the more you're riding. So this is the Vengeance Raider, and it's every bit a modern custom chopper. And what I mean by that is that all the guesswork has sort of been taken out for you. The old days you had to build your own chopper and kind of figure it out, or pay some guy to do it for you. And he's in his garage stretching this, cutting that, welding this, and he's kind of like, I don't know, maybe it'll work. You go ride it and let me know how it is. These days, that's all done. The engineering's really smart. All the suppliers they've picked are really good guys. S&S motors, Daytech frames, weld wheels. It's got this little sparkly, kind of glassy little full finish on there. In fact, actually, Mini Flake was my nickname. No, I'm kidding. I think it's just really beautiful. It's simple, it's clean, it's artistic, it's a little retro, and it sort of fits with the chopper thing, and it's not one of those loud paint jobs with all the monsters all over it, and the skulls and stuff that looks like a sort of a horror movie, which personally, I don't like. Personally, I like this kind of stuff. Let the motorcycle do the talking, and the paint just accentuates that. And you mix all that in with the fact you get a warranty, you can finance the thing, that's why a bike like the Raider here is a really good way to go, if you're looking for that chopper style.